Welcome to another race summary. We are in the Rookie Series, Season 7, Round 6, and as you can see we are at Monza. This is my best qualifying lap. As you see, I found a little bit of a gap with someone about 4 seconds in front of me and not too much pressure from behind. My personal best so far on Monza is a 1:48.9. So anything close to that time would be really good. Today's grid is particularly packed. We have 40 cars participating. This is a combined split A1 and A2. Anyway, this was a pretty good lap for me. I did a 1:49.33. The person in front of me did a 1:49.32, and the person in front of that did a 1:49.31. And in front of that, there's two people with the 1:48. So I qualified 5th, which is very good for me on a track that I really like.
Yellow flag in sector 3. Yellow flag ahead, good job. Well done.
Let's listen to the race director.
Alright everybody, so we have the widget start as per usual. We know this is Monza, it's turn 1, it's a huge grid, so let's all just be a little bit sensible. Don't try and make it 3 wide, don't try and make any overtakes until we get through that first chicane. Let's try and take it as safely as possible. As usual, it's a 45-minute race, 1 mandatory pit stop. You must change tyres. If everyone takes it easy through these first couple of laps, we should get through safely, and hopefully we should have some good racing with such a big grid.
Stay double file.
Just follow the widget. You are ghosted for this first part, so get in the position the widget tells you to be in. You should be all good. Let's take it nice and safe through the first couple of corners.
Got a pretty bad start because the green light is happening when I only drive 40 or 65 kilometers an hour. So the guy behind me is straight up my ass. I stick to the right because I don't want to be in the middle. I'd rather be on the outside or the inside. So fingers crossed.
Clear on the left.
A little bit too much curb, but in the end we survive and we're still in 5th place, which is really good. I opted for the bright white and pink livery because I thought in turn 1 I want everybody to be able to see me. So the numbers that you hear people yelling out are their car numbers for when something went wrong, and they want the stewards to have a look at what happened.
Safety car, safety car. Leader slow to 120 kilometers an hour, slow gradually. Everybody else, give each other enough space. You are not ghosted.
Let's have a look at the replay here. It's not as dramatic but still a car's turned. A few other cars were off already. So it's good to practice safety car anyway. So here we have the safety car, and here we're going to see what the best way is to gain positions under a safety car. Well, the best for anyone behind the leader disconnects, no inputs.
Our leader has DC. The next car will now have to take over and catch up on the safety car. It's obviously caused a bit of a problem.
Yeah, let's speed this up a bit.
Slow it up behind the leader, give each other plenty of space. Leader, once you get around this final corner, you can accelerate whenever you choose. Everybody else, wait until the car ahead of you accelerates. Let's try and get this race back underway safely.
I'm not going to bother jumping back in, just enjoy the race, guys.
How cool is that? We can do turn 1 twice. Sam goes a bit wide in the white Ferrari in front of me, has a bit of a poor exit, and I'm slowly gaining on him. But I also know that Sam, he is way faster than me, so I actually do a little bit of a lift and give him space. I don't really want to fight. I'd rather follow him and get his slipstream. Yeah, these cold tires are always difficult to drive with. So easy to overdrive the car. Anyway, the race has started and we are in 4th, which is really good. Sam in front of me, I expect to run away, so I'll try to follow, but I'm not too worried if I can't follow. I know the people behind me are very fast as well, so I'll be up for a bit of defensive driving here.
Pit window is open. Well done, mate. That's all, guys. There's a car leaving the pit lane. Watch out.
A lot more comfortable now that the tires are up to pressure. And Drum is only a tenth behind me. Is he gonna go for the bomb? No, he's not.
Copy 22.
Yeah, I'm oversteering a little bit.
30.
I know I have that problem, and I'm sure lots of other rookies would have the same, where you have too much steering input. Let me know how you dealt with that. I'm very interested to fix that in my racing, because it would make me faster and it would degrade the tires less quickly. Awesome set of corners coming up here. I take too much curb, and then we see on the left of my screen a bit of dust being kicked up. Unfortunately, the leader has binned it. Here's a replay. Let's have a look. This looks good. It's a bit of a steering correction and he touches the gravel.
Oh dear, he's not at all happy. It's not his day.
So very unfortunate. Looking at it back now, it is obvious that he's want to go into the pits. But actually have a look what happens, and have a also look in the rearview mirror as soon as I pass him, because it's quite awkward, and we're happy that we actually all survived this.
Nearly had him. Falling behind to the car in front in sector 3. Well done,
another lap, another position gained by doing nothing. So we are now in third. There's still quite some pressure from behind, as you can see. It's really time now to put my head down and set some good laps. Let's skip to the next lap. And by the end of this lap, I have made a little bit of a gap of 1 second to the person behind us. So Drum and Alex were fighting a little bit. And the result is I've got a little bit of breathing space. Sam is a couple of seconds ahead of me, but actually I have a few good corners, and I'm not sure if he makes a mistake. I couldn't really see, but I seem to gain some time on the number in front of me.
576. No. Yeah.
My aim is to do as many laps in the 49 as possible. I took 50 liters to start off with, so I can go quite long. But one of the things I didn't do was fuel saving under the safety car. Once again, quite a lot of curb there, but the BMW happily takes it. Alright, let's skip a lap. So this is end of lap 5. We're now going to end up lap 6. And Sam is 1.7 ahead. And I managed to set another 49. The gap to the guys behind me is now over 3 seconds, so that's really good for me. I now have to focus on the front and don't have to worry about what's from behind. At the end of the lap, we see that my times are similar to Sam in front of me, which is good, and the gap behind is still the same. So we're getting closer to half point of the race, so we're starting to see some people getting in and out of the pits, which is always interesting because suddenly we have blue flags and you never know how people react to blue flags. The general idea is that when you have blue flags, within 4 flags you should be able to let the person behind you go past, but at any time do it safely. So that means just let them go on the straight. Don't let them go just before a corner or just after a corner. Don't let them go in, in part of the track. Here, for example, it's way too difficult. You know that there's a straight after this corner, so that's what the overtaking spot should, where you lift and let the guy behind you pass. But we'll see, it is always difficult for people with blue flags. It's a bit of stress involved as well, I guess. I can imagine it is quite stressful. And you want to do the right thing. But sometimes people panic a little bit too much, and it's definitely a practice thing. And this is the rookie series, so this is all for practicing. So we see Robinson behind me at 1 second, and it appeared that this guy was actually really quick and stayed with me almost till the end of the race at roughly a second. Alright, first blue flag here, Stevens. Unfortunately, he makes a mistake, goes off track, allows me to go through, but have a look at my rearview mirror. Lucky I wasn't there. He would have collected me. So we'll skip a lap, and you see Robinson is still behind me at just over a second. Sam in front of me at 3 seconds. And if we manage to keep this position, that will be very nice. That will be my very first podium in the Rookie Series. Beautiful corners this, if you get them right. If you touch the sausages, you're off. So at the end of the lap, Robinson is still there. Witchell went into the pits. I can go along. I still have 8 liters left, 2 laps and a bit. So I'll keep going until my tank is empty. Well, just before. This is the time to set a few quick laps to see if we can overcut Witchell. Witchell's gonna be in a sea of blue flags, so if we do well here and Witchell gets slowed down, we might end up in front of him after we pit. I'm still a little bit in touch with Sam, which is good, at just over 3 seconds. So if he were to make a mistake, I could capitalize on that. 5 liters of fuel left.
391.
So I can easily do another lap.
Go.
'Cause if my pit crew does what they're supposed to do, you can see my required time is 30 seconds, so I've got no damage whatsoever, which is really good news. So far, so good. A very nice, clean race. Seconds left. I don't have a start button, so I use auto start. I wonder how much time I'm losing here. If you know, let me know in the comments below. The problem is I just ran out of buttons on my steering wheel, so I'm going to make a button box at some stage, but for now I'm using auto start. So let's see where we end up relative to Witchell, if we can see it. End up in 6th position so far, but we know that there are people in front of us that still have to do a pit stop. So I'm not too concerned. You see Robinson is still behind me at 1 second. Alright, next blue flag is the black and white BMW of Carlson. He takes a very wide line. I'm not really sure if he's signaling something to me, but he's clearly not slowing down. Actually makes a bit of a mistake here. I hope he doesn't come back on the track, and he doesn't, so we are through. And through the Lesmos we go with quite a lot of free track in front of us. So by the end of the lap we still have Robinson behind me. Diving in 3rd and in 2nd position are both in the pits. So by the end of the pit straight we are now in our true position again, which is 2nd, which is really good, which means we'll be able to jump Witchell. Not really sure what happened to Witchell. We've had clean laps, so he might have had some hiccups along the way, and we managed to jump it, which is fantastic news. The problem is Witchell is really fast, so we are now up to defending. So skipping through the laps a little bit quickly, you see that Witchell is behind me, is still at within a second. Sam is getting quicker and quicker and quicker. End of next lap, Witchell is still within a second. So Witchell's driving really the same speed as me. Our delta goes up and down a little bit, but stays roughly between half a second and just over a second. And so we both make tiny little mistakes, but they end up evening each other out, which means I've so far managed to maintain second position, which I'm really happy with. If I would finish here, that would be absolutely stunning. But we have another blue flag in front of us, so plenty of scope for this race to go downhill, even though Monza is flat. Terrible exit for me. That doesn't help. This would have been a reasonable spot for him to let me go past, but obviously I had a terrible exit out of the chicane, so it has to wait for a little bit more. Witchell is at 0.6 behind.
There's a slow car, man.
Let's see how this goes. This car, oh, the red car, don't get on the racing line, please. Luckily he lifts and lets us all go. Thank you very much. Alright, and this is one of those cases where the blue flagger lifts at the exit of a turn, which is really unfortunate, because as a result I have a terrible exit out of the corner. Witchell behind me now has the slipstream, so it's double bad for me. But luckily we managed to get into this complex first. And now Witchell gets delayed, so that it really is not helping either of our races. But interestingly, we both had a bit of a setback, and as a result we are back at the 1 second difference between us, which is actually quite nice. So back markers did not affect the race. Well, it affected us both equally, which is also okay. Only 4 minutes to go, so let's skip another lap with only 1.5 minutes to go. We are going to our last lap.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
And Mitchell is still 1 second behind me. Sam is far away at like 7 or 8 seconds at this stage. But we are still in second, and second would be my best finish ever. Third would be my best finish ever. So let's see if we can hold on to this position. Last laps are always tricky because this is where people are more likely to do dive bombs, I think. I haven't had experience with Witchell so far, because normally he's driving in front of me. I've got reasonable pace. You see that I'm ahead of my personal best for this race. So that's what you want to see, I guess, at this stage of the race, where fuel is getting lowish. This is where it all counts, so this is where I need to set good laps. Feel free to leave a like, by the way, and if you want to subscribe, you can do that as well. Alright, let's see if we can keep clean through here. Beautiful. Yep, that's really good. Nice and wide, not too wide. No back markers anymore to worry about, so the last corner. Bit of pressure here, although this corner is not terrible to do. And no mistakes, so we end up in second. My best ever rookies result. Very happy with this.
Good job, good job.
Congrats to Sam for the win. He finished 8.7 seconds ahead of me, I think. Yep, there it is. Really good driving. Well done, well deserved win. And I'm very happy with second place.